The city of Chicago, like, we basically have, for the first time, we're having the Dick Clark New Year's Eve, like the ball drop. You know what I'm saying? Like what happens over at Times Square in New York. So it's kind of like a pretty big moment for the city, mainly certain areas. Obviously, it's not like they, you know, like on the south side or the west side, but, just really looking at, they have like Chance the Rapper, you know what I'm saying, hosting the concert, bringing through, a nice amount of guests. I'm sure he's gonna have like a bunch of surprises as far as like Chicago artists. So just really seeing the city, on the national stage, if not like global when you kind of think about it. But yeah, it's pretty much a good look. But my main thing, really thinking about like Chicago Detox and all the things, that we are really pushing and striving for, to, have the city and shedding light on a lot of that stuff. So like really hoping that is more of an opportunity for the city, to actually like, for one, get exposure, but hopefully like gain some of those resources. Cause like I said, a lot of times like it's not necessarily particular entities that are coming into these communities, and like doing these events and like really like helping out. Not to say that they aren't, but it's a lot of, people who aren't really like, contributing and giving back, and that's really like what kind of, makes a lot of the, the bad rep that you hear about Chicago, like, is not necessarily like in a targeted area, like stuff happens all the time, like really any and everywhere, but the reality of the stuff that most people, I guess, will say they're scared to come to Chicago for, or, would have some type of, doubts or be skeptical, is really kind of a couple areas, You know what I'm saying? So like just really thinking about like, Chicago as a whole and really trying to like bring a change. I really just feel that, hopefully some type of resources from like, Dick Clark and, all of these, big people, like, I don't know, that maybe that's something that we have to like talk with Chance about on this. Cause like I said, he will be headlining it. And yeah.